And a 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, it's you.
Very irritated last
it's on yours.
No, yeah, it's on you now.
Last time, Riley's gonna do it. Riley's
It's
gonna
on you.
open.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to open now. I hope you're ready.
The floor is yours.
Don't mess up. No pressure.
It's hard, isn't it?
We're learning things.
Not
today.
easy.
Yeah.
It's not
I can't
easy.
wait to. Do I have to say the whole thing?
You should pull up the script. What
do you mean? Well, no, do your own
Yeah.
personalized introduction.
Yeah.
Can't.
Do it yourself.
Yeah, you can do it.
You want me to show you?
Riley, you're blowing
It goes a
this.
little-
Why don't we all just do it
I'm
together?
like,
Okay, we'll all do it at the
overthinking
same
it.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, one, two.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to another
Welcome
episode of
to
Dookie Spookies, the podcast where we watch
none of this is
scary movies
real.
and rank
Wake up,
them in
man.
an
Wake up.
ever-growing
Wake
list
up.
to discover what the
Wake
worst
up. horror movie of all time is.
This is the worst fever dream of my
drinking?
life.
Oh my god, so does
Ah!
I'm Pierce.
I'm Riley.
I'm Jack.
I'm Chris.
Quick, what are you drinking? Jack.
Or Starbucks.
Coffee. Yeah.
I'm drinking a iced caramel macchiato with almond milk and extra caramel and water on the side.
How many
Stay
bites have you
hydrated.
had of that caramel macchiato? Or whatever you said.
First of all,
How many
You said
bites?
I'm eating.
did you just tell me bites? I have
said I'm
had
eating, I'm
approximately
pretty
more
sure.
than half bites.
We won't
of
know
this
until this
drink.
comes out, but either I'm going to look really stupid or you're going to look really stupid. But I thought you said that you're eating that drink at first.
Yeah, well, we'll find
We'll
out.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be unusable as well. But
No, this is good. This is good.
This is
Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it
we're
going.
already into it.
This is great content.
we already did introductions. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking whiskey out of a coffee cup.
What are you drinking?
Coffee.
What are you
Out of
drinking?
a whiskey cup.
Yeah, also out of a whiskey cup. Haha.
I told you, iced caramel macchiato with almond milk and extra caramel water on the side. Stay hydrated.
Why did you say it like you have
Wow.
pieces of gum in your mouth?
I have a really bad list.
You don't.
I think I do. I think it comes out when I'm stressed and you guys are bullying me and
We have-
pushing me into a corner.
We have recorded evidence that you do not have a list.
Yeah, we have
Really?
so many
Yeah.
episodes of you.
This is not
having
the
a
first
list.
episode. You know that, right? You've listened to the other episodes, haven't you?
Yeah, I feel like I have something.
Okay, well, you know,
Okay.
yeah,
we all.
I feel
I feel like
I
that's
have
a strong
sometimes I have
intuition.
a problem with enunciating.
I go
maybe.
a lot.
Yeah.
Pierce goes.
Before I talk a lot. I'm trying to do it less, and I think I've successfully.
I don't know what
done
Chris's tick is yet.
I trail off at the end of my sentences. That's what I've noticed. At the end of them, they start to get really quiet.
that. Less confident.
Yeah.
Long pause and
This week we watched.
Whose movie was it?
old.
Yeah.
It was
Old.
mine.
yours.
I chose.
Yeah.
I was really excited to watch this, and I don't know why. Because it's spoilers. Bad. In case you don't know the premise of the podcast, it's bad. Let's do some. We're doing non-spoiler talk here, so we're gonna do some basic information.
Let's
Movie
see
is
the
called
background. How yeah, I hear you spent a lot of time pulling these out.
Old. I did this in 30 seconds before we recorded this podcast because I forgot to do it. We were busy today. It's called Old. In case you forgot.
What's it about?
Oh, LD.
Came out in 2021.
No.
Budget of $18 million.
Crikey.
Anybody
Wow.
want to guess what the box office is, except for Chris, because you can see my screen?
I did not
150
see.
million.
I'm going to go lower than that.
Really?
I'm going to say 50
If you say the
million.
exact, I thought you were going to say the exact one.
I'm going to say... Go ahead, you guess before
What do you think it is,
I
Riley?
take my next guess.
I don't know.
Take a guess.
50 million.
Oh my
50 million. Well, that's
50
what I just
million?
said.
Yeah.
You're gonna copy me? Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to change my guess to 90.2 million.
That's right. That's
Wow.
exactly
Wow,
it.
I'm
that's
so
incredible.
smart.
You're
God.
familiar with the industry.
Yeah, that's true. That's
On
true.
account of your films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insider trading.
So this movie was based off of a quote unquote French language Swiss graphic novel called Sandcastle.
Wow, sounds down to earth.
What does that mean? I've got no idea. The novel was written by Pierre Oscar
Did they at
Levi
one time
and
say that at all during the
Frederick
film?
Peters.
Did they ever
Sandcastle?
go like based on the graphic novel Sandcastle? Or did M. Night Shyamalan just take this one?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I think this might just be his.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently he said he wanted to make this movie based on that after he received that book as a gift for like Father's Day.
For Father's Day.
That's what somebody got him for Father's Day.
His child, presumably,
I don't
got
know.
him this book.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Could have been a random person.
That'd be weirder.
Maybe it was someone else's.
I
kid.
guess if you're M. Night Shyamalan, people probably just give you gifts for things, right?
Yeah,
Like, if you're a rich and
$18 million
famous-
to make
Yeah.
this bullshit movie. They gave him that.
Okay, yeah.
It was filmed, if you can take a guess.
Where
What-
was it filmed?
Well, if you can take a guess of what time period, it came out in 2021. What happened in the 2020?
I
Pandemic.
can't remember.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
There was what?
Yeah. They filmed it during the pandemic, which I guess is pretty easy when you film it on a beach
Yeah.
with nobody around.
Yeah.
That's not super hard. It was filmed in the Dominican Republic,
Cool.
which
I love it.
Do you want to expand on that?
thanks for
or-
that.
Just whisper into the mic. I love the Dominican Republic.
I do. I
Yeah.
do.
Hell yeah.
That's it.
You know what I love?
Gotcha.
I love when Chris tells me what the story was.
Oh, what was this
Oh,
about, Chris?
Yeah, this was a classic coming to age tale.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Not bad at all.
Initial reviews.
Well, before we get into initial reviews, I'd like to state that we're not professional movie critics, and
This is true.
watch it for yourself.
yeah.
cares?
Go watch the movie.
Yeah. If you've listened to any of these before, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, initial reviews out of 10. What do we think?
What do you think, Riley?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I want to be clear that they are all staring at me because I am the only one out of the four that actually liked this movie.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know that.
What would you give it? How many?
Out of how many?
Out of
again?
how many?
Out of how many mid-sized sedans?
Yeah. How many mid-sized sedans would you give this movie? Out of 9 mid-sized sedans.
Honestly, maybe like a 6 or 7.
Like a 6 or 7 mid-sized sedans
That's
out of
a lot
9
of
of mid-sized
mid-sized sedans.
sedans. Okay, so you thought it was a
Yeah.
good movie.
It's a lot of mid-sized
I
sedans.
really liked it.
Why?
I thought it was entertaining. I'm all
Okay.
for the drama. It's just
Okay, yeah, sure.
I wouldn't classify this as like a horror movie.
It's kind of body horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bit.
I guess
bit.
that's a little better term. I don't know. I was really entertained.
Okay.
We can, yeah,
You were engrossed by the idea.
yeah,
Of a beach that makes you old.
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
I'm on board.
We'll talk more about it.
Oh, yeah.
Continue.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We're
I'm sure.
glaring at each other.
I'm sure we will.
We're doing a Western standoff here at the table. I've got my hand on my Smith & Wesson. Yeah, we'll talk about this real soon. Okay.
Come noon
Yeah.
in front of the saloon.
In front of nice. That was cool.
Bars.
Yeah, bar. Whoa! Oh my God! A bar.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Drop the movie. We
Thank
don't
you.
need to talk about
Thank you
it.
so much. Anyway, thanks for listening to Dookie Spookies.
I'll go next.
Okay.
I don't know how many mid-sized sedans really, but I'd say this is probably like if the Ouija movies were one mid-sized sedan, and a 9 mid-sized sedans is like Hereditary or a good movie.
Sure.
This is gonna be for me 2 mid-sized sedans.
If we're comparing to Hereditary at the highest, then I'm
No, I'm just literally- I'm
I'm just
making
saying
it
I'll
up.
move it
I
to a
don't know.
6. I will move it to a solid 6.
Okay, so you've gone up.
Slightly down.
Well, yeah,
I
but
said
your
6
high
or
end can be
7.
different than mine. I'm just making it up.
Yeah.
No, they have to be the same.
Okay, they have to be the same. Okay,
Yeah, actually.
yeah, this is 2 mid-sized sedans for me. I just didn't buy it. I just didn't buy into it.
Well, it's because, well,
I mean, there was
is it because you don't believe that there's beaches that make you old? Because that's every
Yeah,
beach.
you know, I'm inclined to
That's every
to
beach.
believe that.
Every beach makes you older.
But I think for me, this movie felt like an excuse for M. Night Shyamalan
Are you getting into spoilers there?
to do some shocking things. And it is definitely a body horror movie. And I think that the bit of this movie is you go, no way. They didn't.
That's your impression of Riley?
Yeah.
How many times was that said when you were watching this, Riley?
Honestly, maybe at least once.
No.
At least
Maybe,
once.
maybe at least
And
once.
I did say it a lot too. The whole time I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, "Oh no, I know it's gonna happen," and like that's fun, right? And like I'll give it to this movie. I was entertained. Like I watched it and I was like, "Okay, like I'm invested here," but I was mad about it the whole time.
Yeah, we watched it together last night.
Yeah, we did.
Snuggled and
We did.
it was great.
Yeah,
But he was complaining about it the whole time.
I was complaining about it the whole time. I thought that the acting, not great.
It was weird.
It was weird. I just got a weird vibe from this movie.
Okay.
I didn't like the characters. I didn't think that there was really any depth in any of them.
Wait. You weren't a fan of Mid-Size Sedan? The famous rapper?
Wow.
I wasn't.
Mid-Size
I can't believe it.
Sedan?
Yeah. But anyways, we'll get into it. But 2 mid-sized sedans out of 9 mid-sized sedans.
Why is it out of 9? I don't understand.
That's how many. So these are the rules.
But it's out of 10.
No, it's out of 9 mid-sized sedans.
Why?
That's the scale. It's 1 to 9.
When
So
did this happen?
Yeah.
When we invented the scale 10 minutes ago. No
Okay.
time to
Okay.
waste.
Okay. I'm gonna out of 9 mid-sized sedans. Guess I'm gonna give this because you're right. I can totally see this as like a guilty pleasure movie. It's like it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Nothing in this movie makes sense. But it's like kind of entertaining at times. It's a little dull and repetitive, but you know, there's a reason that I was like, yeah, I'll rewatch this, you know, because it's kind of fine. So I'll give it a maybe like a, I don't know, 5.
5 mid-sized sedans. So it's
Maybe a
it's
4.5.
All right, so an average rating on the mid-sized sedan scale.
Yeah, I'm going average.
All
I think
right.
it's average.
Okay.
I think the like entertainment value makes up for quite a bit.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I would. I think I would go somewhere similar, somewhere kind of in that mid range of about 5 mid-sized sedans.
In the middle, huh?
Yeah.
Like a mid-sized.
Yeah,
list.
yeah, yeah. A
Mid-sized
mid-sized,
sedan.
mid-sized sedan. Yeah.
Joke.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sick of this rating system.
Yeah.
So sick of it.
This I've also seen this movie before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, in the first time, I remember my first experience watching it being a lot different from this one. Because the first time I had no clue what the movie was. I think I was just with someone else. I was watching it, so I had no clue what I was going into. So I had no idea like what was going on at first.
Did you like it or dislike it more the first time around?
I think I liked it more
Okay.
because I thought it was an interesting premise.
Okay.
Like it was something I hadn't seen that before. I thought it was an interesting take.
You never seen people get old?
I haven't.
No,
You never seen Benjamin Button?
no.
Okay.
I skipped that movie as a kid. Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like this time it was. I want to say, it was kind of a little boring because it was really repetitive, and knowing the catch makes
Sure.
it a lot less entertaining.
So good for a first watch, maybe
Yeah.
not for a second.
That's kind of a lot of M. Night Shyamalan's movies, though, because they all rely on the twist ending. And once you know the twist ending,
Yeah.
it takes a lot out of the
And
movie.
Not to get into spoilers, but this twist ending here,
It's not
you
that
know,
interesting.
I didn't feel twisted. I
It's-
felt lowercase t twist
That's
on this
fair.
one.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any letterboxd reviews they'd like to?
I
to.
have one I think really
give
speaks
us?
to me.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. This one is by Cosmonaut Markey. My mind is blown by every facet of this film. The acting, the script, the story, the directing. All of it was awful. The worst movie I've seen in years. 5 stars.
Yeah, exactly. That guy gets it.
Uh-huh.
100%. Do we want to go counterclockwise? We go Riley next.
Sure. So, my review is by James with a swirling star emoji. I thought this was funny. The part where they got old, classic.
It is a classic.
Wow, true, dude.
Mine is from Dirk H. Unbelievable transformative experience. Aged about 50 years watching it, Shyamalan is a wizard. He can make talented actors forget they can act. He can make audiences forget they love movies. And he can fuck right off and actually make half decent film again, where it isn't about him and his supposed brilliance as a writer / director.
Damn.
So he actually can rely on the talents of others instead of his own Wow.
This is just going off.
Yeah, I
Christ
didn't
almighty.
fully read this. I read the first part before
who
it got
is
to Dirk H.
Dirk H.
Yeah, one
Man,
star.
feel strongly
One,
about
yeah,
this
one
one
star.
star. It's a well-earned
I
one
thought
star.
the top half was kind of funny. Then he started going a little hard.
Yeah.
To get to that looks like a long ass
Yeah.
review. You gonna read that whole thing or?
I was almost done. His
Okay.
misguided Messiah of Cinema Complex. Okay,
Dang,
that
Dirk
last
H.
bit is perhaps a bit much, but I'm pretty sure most of you know exactly what I mean.
That dude
So,
fucking
yeah.
hated this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
didn't like
felt
it.
very strong. I don't know if I felt that strong. I thought it was okay.
Yeah. I'm on board. I don't know enough about M. Night Shyamalan to like know anything else about his movies.
Me either.
There's all twists.
Yeah. I mean, this might be the first M. Night Shyamalan movie that I've watched where I've been conscious that it was an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Definitely same.
Yeah. The review I found is by
You find a good one?
Ayo Edabiri. Said life's a beach and then you get incredibly old, incredibly fast. Smiley face.
Cool. How many stars?
No stars.
Oh,
Didn't rate it.
None.
yeah. That was one thing about this movie that I really couldn't put my finger on is what the deal was with the acting in it.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It felt like I was watching a movie that was dubbed in English.
Yeah.
Even though it was shot in English. And even the
That's
characters.
a good way to put it.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
like some of the characters had like vaguely European accents. I think I wasn't
I
really
agree.
sure.
Well,
I
it's-
couldn't place
One
it.
had a heavy accent.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a Swiss book, right? So
Okay,
maybe they're
maybe they were Swiss.
Swiss. I don't really
Maybe
know.
I've just never heard a Swiss person talk before.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening?
I mean, it sounded kind of Northern Europe-y to
Yeah,
me.
but even the characters without accents like that were. I still got the feeling that it was like, hello,
Like Jared.
oh my, we are on a beach together. It's like kind of
My
really
name's
robotic. Like
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's on purpose. Maybe that's just to give you kind of an eerie vibe. That's kind of what I got from it. A little
Well-
bit. Especially when the initial...
the eerie vibe is to have your actors act as like emotionless as possible.
To me, it felt like everybody was like really socially awkward.
Yeah, everybody in this movie is really weird.
Like they just don't understand how to talk to people, which isn't. I don't know if that's their fault. I think it's. We're kind of getting into spoilers. I think it's the fact that M. Night Shyamalan has never talked to another human being before, and he just got so close to human dialogue. He got so close, but not quite. It was almost there, but he didn't get it. Yeah.
Almost like Chat GPT.
okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
this movie, your Letterboxd rating is 5 stars. M. Night Shyamalan almost nails human dialogue.
Exactly.
That's pretty good. Okay, we'll get it. We'll jump into it. We'll jump into
Let's
it.
just get into
Let's
it.
just get into it. Spoiler talk.
Jinx.
Okay. Picture perfect shot of my family in a car with my sister singing. And the opening shot when that girl is like belting it in the car, that's every single 11-year-old I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
That's what
Yep.
they do. And they're like, oh, wow. And then their parents go, wow,
You're so good. My,
and then she goes, no, I'm not. And her mom's, and then they cut. Her mom looks away and she goes, hee.
my first thing was.
I was like, this is my younger sister. This is hilarious.
My first thing was, who talks like this? Because it opens up, they're in the van or whatever they're in, and they're saying stuff like, I can't wait to hear your voice when you're older. You're a baby. Don't wish away the moment, and look how big you guys are getting.
I wonder what this movie
What are
is
they
going to be
setting up?
about.
It's like,
Interesting.
what a lazy way to set up quote unquote foreshadowing.
Yeah, and I don't even think it was foreshadowing. I think it was an excuse for them later in the movie to be like, do you remember when I told you I wanted to listen to your voice when you were older?
But that's what I was talking about.
2 hours ago.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about with like so close to human dialogue. Like that's so close. And same thing goes for the kid who introduces himself to people by saying, what are your names and what do you do for a
that
living?
I would do that though. That's that's relatable
To me, it felt
I
like
thought that was funny.
it was funny.
And that made, and like,
Yeah,
that
that
made
was a
me.
character quirk.
Yeah.
I would
not.
do
Yes,
It's
you-
not a
I would
character
do that.
quirk.
Yeah,
You know what it is?
what?
You know what it is? It's another lazy way to quote unquote introduce characters.
I mean,
I
technically,
actually wrote that same thing. I was like, wow, what a
Like, who
interesting way
needs-
to introduce characters.
I found it endearing.
Who needs character development or like any notable like who needs to make notable characters
right.
when you can just explain?
When one of
here's
your
my name and here's
characters-
what I do for a living.
when one of your characters has to do it for you?
It's like, yeah,
Okay.
who needs it?
All right.
I can't believe all movies don't do that. Just have a kid that goes, "What is your name? And what do you do for a living?" And then their personalities are entirely based off what they do for a job.
Yep.
Well, as someone who's done some creative things, I feel like it's best to spoon feed your audience sometimes.
I agree.
So,
We do
I
that
agree.
here.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do that here. Spoon
exactly.
feed 'em. Yeah. Yeah. I wrote down. Okay. So, the kids show. Okay. Family shows up. We've got two parents, some kids. They get to the resort. They're like, "Oh my god, this is the nicest resort ever." And the mom's like, "I can't believe I found this on the internet."
It's wild.
And then you're like, "Oh, okay, cool, great."
I love to know. I want to know the wordplay of when they enter. Like, they get off the bus, the doors open, and then you see the like concierge or like the
The staff.
and he was like, "Welcome to our version of paradise." I thought that was interesting.
I don't think
That they open it like that.
Welcome to Harvard. I mean, I guess if you were a spoiler pharmaceutical company,
yeah.
this would be your version of paradise,
I
right?
when you notably when you notably point out, I don't know, just our version. If I were in that situation and they were to say that to me I don't know if that just makes me weird or different, but I would catch that and that would make me feel very
Be
uneasy.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mm.
That would not make me feel like I'm in paradise.
I feel like that's just some generic like tagline any like a hotel would say. Just like, "Oh, come stay with us at our version of paradise."
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
I think what was more on the nose was there was a sign in that thing where it was like, "So and so hotel. Cherish the time you have."
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck you, dude! Jesus,
That's not ominous at all.
None of my notes are terrible. There's a lot of my shit in here that I write. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? And
I've-
are you fucking kidding me?
I honestly don't really have a lot. This might
There
be
wasn't
like
a lot
the
that
least amount of
went
notes
down,
I've had.
but
from
there
a
also
movie.
was. Okay, so we'll jump through a little bit. Mom and dad, rough marriage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yelling at each
Things
other.
are not going great. We
Getting a
learned that
divorce.
mom is sick at
Cancer.
some point, but hasn't told the kids yet. And the kids are like, they're very aware that their parents love arguing, and they're sitting like,
Yeah.
kind of being bummed about it. Don't worry, they're going to the beach. Beach, go to the beach,
Yeah.
beach.
That fixes
let's go get
everything.
away. And so they get on. They go to a little breakfast. They meet a little kid. The kid's like, "Hey, my uncle works here, and also I don't have any friends. All my friends disappear."
That was that was a funny scene because the conversation was just like, again, not human.
Yeah, so dumb.
like-
Hello, I can do 4 push-ups, and I'm scared of animals. And you're
I
like,
have
"What?"
no friends. It's like,
Yeah.
Jesus, what's wrong
Well,
with
yeah,
you?
I understand why. God.
Don't lead with that.
Oh man. Okay, it was weird. So yeah, those two. It
They do-
should be noted that the son of the main family and that kid who's the nephew of the
This is getting confusing.
main host. Watch the movie. You'll understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They know each other. Okay, so what are we doing, Riley? We're going to the
Going to the beach.
Beach. We're
Well,
going to the beach.
they actually get sought out by a staff of the hotel
yes.
to tell them, "This is our little secret,
is
our
our
beach.
little
We have
secret
something
beach."
for you."
Also, I'm good, man. I can see the beach just over there.
That's what I was
That
gonna
beach
say.
looks sweet.
If somebody came up to you and said that, would you go?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Why would I trust anybody?
Yeah, that's what I
Never.
thought
I've
too.
seen these
Yeah, no.
movies.
I doubly wouldn't go when I saw the where,
Oh,
they,
yeah.
where they pull up to and they're
Yeah,
like,
they're
yeah,
like,
don't
hey,
worry.
It's
no
like just walk through the
trespassing
box canyon.
Yeah, it's
no.
it's just a few minutes. Take all this heavy, all this heavy food
Are you
and furniture
coming?
with you.
Yeah.
And-
Okay. Yeah. So they get selected out. They then take a private supposedly private ride to the beach.
Yep. M. Night
And
Shyamalan
then-
is driving.
He was the driver. The director was the driver of the bus.
Really?
Yeah.
If that isn't a metaphor, I don't know what is.
Yeah, because he was driving this bus.
Yeah, and he was
And
taking.
I
Photos
didn't
of
like the
people.
location we ended up in.
and he was filming them.
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this a metaphor for movies? No.
Okay,
it's
so-
not. That's not what it is.
Apparently, then another family gets on the bus. Not so private now, is it?
Mhm, we got Mr. Doctor.
Yeah, Mr.
Hot,
Doctor
hot wife.
with their daughter, and then the doctor's
And-
mother accompanying.
Yeah.
Elderly mother.
Yeah,
Yes,
elderly mother. Who
elderly
gets
mother noted.
like a great 3 lines or something. In this
Yeah,
movie.
she doesn't say a whole lot.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't. But they go and drive to the beach,
Go to the beach.
right? And he essentially just drops them off, and then also hands them. Take note. A very large basket of
Picnic basket.
food. Yes, and
Good thing
makes
Yogi Bear
you
wasn't
know
there.
the
Yeah.
subtle note of like
Oh,
you're
you're-
gonna need this.
Those
The
kids get
always
hungry.
Yeah.
Kids eat a lot.
Oh my God. Huh. I wonder if something's wrong here. Okay. Yeah. So they go walk through a box canyon again, and
A sketchy
I
canyon.
don't know if anybody knows this, but and you know you should. As somebody who's been in a box canyon, if you meet somebody, a stranger, and he tells you to walk through that box canyon, don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. It's a great place to get attacked.
Or like a rock fall on you.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. And then nobody will ever find you because
Yeah.
if you ever tried to find a box canyon,
yeah.
hard to find.
We're in one right now,
Yeah.
actually.
We're shooting
Yeah.
this in the bottom of a box canyon.
Let me tell you, it's sketchy.
Dude, nobody could get in here. If they
No.
want, not
No.
even if they wanted to. Okay, so we're on the beach. Let's go to the beach. Let's go get away. Weird. What are these mounds with silverware right here on the beach? Oh,
But-
who's that?
Oh my God, that's
Random-
mid-sized sedan.
Yeah.
My favorite
Oh my
rapper.
God.
Yeah, okay.
You see a
what the
random
fuck?
dude. Yeah.
He's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Looking so cool. So
Yeah.
sick. Just like, people are on my beach.
Well, you thought that
Also-
you thought that he was sketchy.
Yeah, because there was a shot of him earlier in the movie where he was with a woman, and then it cuts to him and he's bleeding, and the woman's gone. I'm like, where'd she go?
We find her.
She
But
got-
I would like to point out, now that we're into some spoilers, shouldn't he have been a little bit older after spending 8 hours of the
Yeah.
night out on the beach?
What?
But the only thing, he's same age, just bloody nose.
Yeah,
Like it-
the
That's a
aging gets
good
weird.
point.
And they have a lot of like really dumb ways to explain basically continuity.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, why don't our hair and fingernails grow? Well, because it only works on living tissues, living cells. Well, then how did that lady's dead body decompose so fast?
Yeah.
Because she's dead.
Yeah.
So she shouldn't age. Also, she looked exactly the same, so she didn't age.
Yeah.
What?
And then she did all of a sudden.
It's like
what?
It doesn't make any. That's what I'm like. Nothing in this movie makes sense.
Yeah, what the? That's a good point, Chris. He was on that
Yeah.
beach for a while. So the
thought
premise,
mine
is,
was
yeah,
a
the
good
beach
point,
makes
too.
you old. That's the shtick.
It was pretty good.
No,
If
it
you
was
want to
good,
get
I agree.
technical,
Beach makes you old.
I believe like
Yeah.
30 minutes is equivalent to a year
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of your life. So
Yeah.
Okay, buckle your seatbelts, kids. You're in for the next
Yeah.
90 minutes of this
Yeah.
movie.
I mean, I feel like,
The beach makes you old.
yeah.
It makes everybody old. People grow up.
Yeah.
People go through puberty. People have kid.
Oh,
Kid die.
Whoa, yeah. No kid on
yeah.
beach.
So here. This is kind of we get some scenes of like, okay, the kids are playing, everybody's kind of having fun. Man, these kids are getting pretty hungry. A dead body. Oh man. The doctor
Yeah.
immediately blames a mid-sized sedan. Little. Kind of charged by the doctor. And by the end of the
Yeah.
movie, he was getting a little racist. By the
A
end
little
of the
bit, yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
He's
Well, it's
like,
explained that he has.
like he's like a paranoid schizophrenic or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like.
oh, is that what that?
Which is
oh,
why
yeah.
he was like,
yeah.
"Are you trying to break into my house? Are you after me?"
Yeah. That's why, yeah,
he's
when
like,
he
"We're on a
first
beach,
but it-
sir."
but it's
that's why
odd
when
that
he
he-
first like sliced him. Oh, I thought he was gonna hurt me. That was-
Yeah, he's a paranoid
Okay.
schizophrenic.
For some
yeah.
reason, like as it started to go off, or like he talked about the movie. Like
Yeah,
I thought it was
what movie Jack
Alzheimer's at
Nicholson?
first.
What movie was that?
I don't know. We should look that up.
Is it The Shining?
I don't think. No, because who was the other actor? He was
Is
Marlon
Jack-
Brando.
Yeah.
Marlon
Marley
Brando's not
Brando was in The
Shining.
Shining, wasn't she?
That's a guy, and no,
Is it Jack Nicholson and Marley Brando?
Marlon Brando.
Okay, I'll look it up. Jack Nicholson, Marlon The Missouri Breaks, 1976.
Oh, he should have just used his phone to look it up.
Yeah. Dumbass.
What an idiot.
We learned something important. Everybody on the beach is sick.
Yep.
Yes.
They have some sort of
Yeah.
Some sort of
disease.
disease.
Except for the
or-
kids.
Except for the kids. Which, okay. Pharmaceutical company.
Why send the kids?
We can specify to
Why send
like
the kids?
one person per family is sick.
Yeah, one person per family is sick. So a mid-sized sedan's girlfriend had like MS or something.
They weren't. Sorry
Yeah.
to be technical, but they weren't together. They were both.
Well,
I
How
think
he
they were
put it
both
is they
sick.
were both I don't know if it was terminal, but they both were sick, and it was essentially like they used that to kind of like hit it off and do whatever they did with the night.
Yeah, I
she
think
did get naked in front of him.
She did.
Yeah,
That is
she did.
true. That
I
is
did.
true.
Yeah.
The movie takes a long time to like go like, oh, they're older, because like you kind of put it together. You get on the beach and you're like, oh, everybody's getting older. This is a beach that makes you old. And then for the next
The
30
kids
minutes,
keep
the
wanting
movie's
food.
like, the movie's like, oh, what's wrong with the kids?
But
Whoa.
and this gets into. Did you guys notice that there really were? It was either like shots where you couldn't see what was happening at all,
Yep.
or shots that were way too close to somebody's
Yeah.
face.
Yes.
What's the deal with that? Budget constraints?
I don't know. I mean, they had $18 million.
Okay. Also, a lot of those shots were just somebody falling over.
Yeah, or just like their knee, or like it pans around and then something happens and it pans back and they're
They
dead.
put all their CG budget into the bonitis scene.
Yeah.
that lady
Yeah.
had bonitis.
Yeah, that was. Yikes.
Yeah.
Do you know what bonitis is? Does anybody know what that is? Bonitis?
No, go
Damn,
look at
only
Google
one.
bonitis if you're at home. But yeah, so the kids are old. Oh, this is crazy. The 6-year-old and the 11-year-old are now like the equivalent of like what? They age
I think
6
she's
years.
like.
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah.
like 18.
He was
17.
6, and then he was 11.
Yep.
And she was like 11, and I think like 15 or 16.
But yeah,
Look it up,
so
it's
they
fine.
get older. The kids are older now. Mid-sized sedan is immediately in to the daughter.
Yeah,
What
I
the
think-
fuck?
Yeah,
Dude,
she was
11.
11.
What the fuck?
Oh, she has
And that's
boobs
what
now.
I fucking hated about this movie is for some goddamn reason it gave M. Night Shyamalan an excuse to be like, but they're not 11 anymore. Fuck you, dude. A scene ago, you were like, this is a 6-year-old. What if they had kids? Why? Who greenlit this?
Yeah.
Especially-
Why are you making me watch this movie? Did you put this in theaters?
Especially the fact that the child dies.
Immediately.
Immediately,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was the point of that other than to be like gross?
To be like gross. I can't believe
Yeah.
that they would do that. Yeah, me neither, M. Night Shyamalan. Me neither.
and you did it. It was
You
you.
did it.
You wrote the screenplay. You did this.
Unbelievable. Why? Why? I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated this movie. That part went on for so long.
Yeah.
There was that weird part until everybody just got old and you're like, oh, we're
Mm-hmm.
through it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was frankly, I was relieved when everybody had died.
Yes. Because you're like, finally, nobody can do anything fucking weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's this movie is basically something happening, somebody getting old, or like their cancer has grown exponentially, or they have a heart attack, or now they're going blind, punctuated by them standing around in a circle and talking about what's happening. And how they figure out what's like how this beach works is beyond me, because they're just standing around in a circle being like, well, it's just living cells, and if we try to leave too fast, it's like we're
That's-
underwater. It's like, how did you fucking figure all
Yeah,
this
I would
out?
say that's my thing is how they immediately said the correct answer as their first response as to what was happening.
got it right immediately.
Yeah.
They had a nurse.
Yeah.
That's how they know. They had a nurse.
Yeah. Jared. My name's Jared.
Yeah.
By the way, my name is Jared.
Yeah.
He said that a lot.
The only logical character in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he makes the
Yeah.
most illogical decision ever to try to swim out.
When he died too, I was like, damn.
Well, he was on the
probably
swim
the only
team.
one that could have
Yeah, he
kept
looked
them
like
calm
it.
and together.
He looked like he was on the swim team. Yeah, I mean, it's like why show? That's what they always tell you when you become a director is tell, don't show. Mm-hmm. And that's what this movie was. Tell people
tell
how this
people.
works. Don't show them. Tell them.
But that's the thing. I think they did try and show it, but I didn't
Then they
buy into
Then they'd
it.
explain it to you like you're a dummy.
Yeah, then they'd explain it to you like a dummy, right? It's like somebody wrote this idea down and they're like, let's take this to the most like the farthest extreme we possibly can. Like, what's the logical conclusion of something like this happening?
Well, clearly it's a cop who somehow has jurisdiction over this Dominican Republic island to call the military.
Yeah, that's a lot of skipping.
Oh wait,
ahead.
yeah, we're skipping.
I don't know.
Well, that's
We're
the
gonna pick
logical
it up. We
conclusion.
got to like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, the kids are old now.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Um,
kids are old. How do they, spoiler, escape the island, Riley?
oh man, that's a lot of meat in between this.
Yeah.
We're
Nah,
gonna do
they're
every
old.
character
That's
deck.
kind of they're old.
Yeah, define
then-
old because they're,
They're old
older.
now.
They're old. Everybody.
Oh,
dies.
sorry. Well,
That's where
they're.
we're
I mean,
at,
I guess
aren't we?
like yeah. Okay, so the kids are.
They're like teenagers now.
Yeah, they're like
Okay,
teenagers
those are
now.
right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So
The baby scene.
So the doctor has a daughter who is about the same age as a little boy. At the time when they arrived, they were about 6. Right now, the boy and the daughter somewhere between 16, 17,
Yeah,
15,
maybe
16.
3.5 hours later.
Yeah,
something like
everybody's freaking out because like all the parents and grown-ups are on a certain side of the island because doctor's mom died, a bunch of other stuff. Go watch it. And they're in a tent together talking about this is what I did like is it just like I feel like it kind of got you thinking, like when they were talking about how the kids and they were just describing how they think a lot, but it's like in more colors. I thought that was a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Like they kind of
like their
just
brain is
describing,
developing, too.
developing on in simple ways on like what you experience as you get older. I thought that was cool. That's one of the reasons why I liked it because I thought it sparked good, deep philosophical questions that you could, have after the movie.
Like,
What's
what if
one
you
of
got
them?
old on this beach?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
You know what I thought was
Like, what if your whole life was
Yeah.
like tracked into 3 hours?
What if you
Kind
turn
of
a
the-
6-year-old into a 40-year-old person?
What if these 6-year-olds have a
don't
kid
like you
together and
guys.
die right away?
You know what I thought was weird was they try to justify why the kids get older, and growing by saying that they need to consume a lot of calories because they're gaining mass quickly. But wouldn't that go the opposite way too, where they'd lose mass quickly and
Yeah, 'cause-
wouldn't they starve to death in minutes?
Right, like the
Wouldn't
baby
they
did.
die
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Wouldn't they die of dehydration in seconds? Because you can go 3 days without water, you can go 3 weeks without food.
Right.
That would be like
Yeah, why is everybody alive
Yeah.
on this?
they should die immediately. But
Yeah.
they don't because movie.
it's only logical when they
They
need
don't
it
even
to be.
eat that much of their food. They eat like just
no.
handfuls of pasta salad in one day.
Yeah, they don't start eating until
which that leads
she's pregnant.
why?
That
Because she's
was-
pregnant. So they're in a tent
Oh,
together and they're
yeah.
discussing like all how their
Why did they
how their
hook up?
brains and thoughts are growing or whatever.
Because what
it
happens
cuts
if
to the
a 6-year-old
family.
gets pregnant?
They were fucking like at 2 hours
Yeah, and
ago.
keep in mind, like
How did
it's
they
notable
know?
that they're mentally and like having conversations still in their like 6-year-old minds, but they're in 15, 16-year-old bodies and doing 16-year-old stuff, aka the dirty, and she gets pregnant. It comes out.
What was
It's-
this
So-
movie about?
My
I
favorite.
feel like we're walking on a thin line.
Where this is thin ice here.
sorry.
Maybe this is for the vault.
Yeah, my favorite thing to come out of this part is when they get back and the guy's dad says, "Oh, like, how did this happen? You know how to make a baby." And then he responds, "Oh, I thought it takes like 10 times." I didn't.
That part was funny.
That part was funny, but like, okay,
Yeah.
like Pierce said this last time, and how much of this movie can you remove and it still makes sense?
Most of it.
Most of it.
Yeah.
What did this scene do other than make the viewer go,
Gross.
ew,
Gross.
grody?
Well,
That's it.
in a way, it kind of well, I don't know. I was gonna say it explains why like people can't just keep having kids to live on the beach, but
That's a good point.
Yeah, I don't know why that would
be
matter.
your first thought on the beach? Wait, everybody.
Yeah,
we can repopulate this.
That's the thing. Yeah, I don't know why that would matter.
Breed
though.
really quickly.
I'm just trying to find some reason to defend him. I'm trying to put some logic to the decision.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It's rough.
This is an illogical movie.
I feel like this kind of falls on the line of psychological horror in a way.
Psychological horror, and that's how I felt when I was watching it.
Yeah, psychologically horrified.
Yeah. I also like the part in that scene where the kid goes, "I'll marry her. I'm gonna marry her," and I'm like, "Okay,
we're never gonna get a divorce."
Yeah, we're never gonna argue.
Oh yeah, they also loved bringing that up. The parents don't like each other. Remember?
Yeah.
No, I forgot because you made me watch this movie.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
But basically,
Kid turns to dust immediately.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dust.
Thanos snap.
Thanos
Just
snap.
dust.
Gone. What else happens in this movie?
Well, so the premise, I feel like it's getting lost a little bit with how much we're jumping around. But the premise, the premise is that the pharmaceutical company is sending people here to test their drugs.
That's a twist.
Yeah, that's the twist. They're sending people there to test their drugs because they all have some sort of illness, right? So like one lady has cancer and then it grows a lot. One guy has paranoid schizophrenia. One guy has the lady has
epilepsy.
Yeah, and so they send them there to like fast track their testing of the drugs.
That's the big twist.
Yeah, and so like slowly but surely over the movie, all of these people, their diseases start to catch up with them. And that is kind of the main driver for a lot of the
Well, Tumor Woman survives.
Yeah,
because they cut the tumor out.
They cut the tumor. Yeah.
But people's diseases becoming, just becoming more
cataracts.
becoming more terminal drives a lot of the conflict in this movie.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful take.
Yeah. That's just that's what it is. But
I feel like they tried to work in the kind of half-assed like moral dilemma when they introduced that plot twist of the medicine they gave the girl with the seizures worked, so they could.
We're gonna save.
Yeah,
so
we can
many
fast track it.
people.
Yeah.
She went 18 years without a seizure.
That did feel really half-assed. Again, this was a napkin movie. What if we get old on this beach?
How do we explain?
How do we justify this?
What's the twist?
How do we
M. Night
justify
Shyamalan.
$18 million in an hour and a half of this movie?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how I felt about it.
Yeah, I told Jack when we were watching it, I was like, I bet M. Night Shyamalan went to the pitch meeting for this without any idea what the movie was going to be, and they said, "So, what's your next movie going to be, M. Night?" And he's like, "What? Okay, what is that book I read? What if there's a beach that you get old on?" They're like, "Okay, like
anything else?"
What? And he's like, "Yeah, but it's like faster." I'm like, "Okay, why?" Well, what if it's I don't know. What if it's a pharmaceutical company?
But it's the rocks.
They're testing drugs.
Yeah, magnetic rocks.
Yeah.
It's like,
and there's a cop there.
and they're like, "Yeah, totally."
Dude, this is great.
So I feel like he threw it together in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, it does. That's what this movie feels like. It was thrown together in like 5 minutes. Yeah. I mean, every scene. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna swim out here. I drown.
How long did it take to film it again?
Beats me.
Oh, I thought you had that information. I apologize.
I don't know, a year probably. Maybe not a year.
I will say that
Half a year.
the scariest part of this movie, and the part that I think I liked the most, is when the cataract's dad is sitting there with his sight blurred, and the fucking paranoid schizophrenic guy is dragging himself towards
crawling
them.
towards them.
And he's muttering. He's like, "Nimmin, nimmin, nimmin."
That part's freaky.
That part was terrifying.
Yeah.
I was like, I hated that.
Well, because have you heard that the human beings have a innate fear of things approaching them directly?
Really?
Yeah, because I've seen a video on YouTube before where it's like a triangle or something in the screen, and it starts small and it gets bigger. And a lot of the comments are like, "This freaked me out. I didn't like this," because it's like a biological, that thing's coming towards me, probably to hurt me. So I felt like that drew on that principle, where it's like coming directly at you out of the night is fucking horrifying.
Man,
Crawling,
yeah,
doing something that people shouldn't do.
After he's already killed somebody as well.
So scary. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
You know what scene I liked?
What scene did you like?
Is when they were escaping, and they were like, "Oh, we should get to the coral," because the kid's friend who we met, they like to do ciphers, and he gave him one that was like, my uncle doesn't like the coral, so they were like, oh, we should try to swim to the coral and get through it. Maybe that's the key to get out of here. And they do that, and they're swimming through, right? And it cuts to M. Night Shyamalan watching them, and he's like, okay, well, I guess it looks like they died. And then he's talking to like HQ, and he's like, no, man, I watched them for a minute and a half. There's no way they survived. A minute and a half? You don't want to watch them a little longer than a minute and a half?
Just to check.
You've been here for 2 days.
Yeah. How long have you been sitting here watching everybody die? You've been here all day.
You're just going to give up
Say
after
a couple more minutes.
a minute and a half and be like, no, they died.
Yeah, just
What
put
was
it,
the
put
deal?
in a couple more
what was
minutes.
the deal in that movie? So they're in the coral, she's stuck, and then the ceiling splits, and the coral breaks off. What was that?
Divine intervention.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Beats
Plot
me.
A
armor.
Hail Mary.
Plot armor.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what it was? M. Night Shyamalan wrote that into the movie, and then somebody on set went, "Why didn't she drown?" And he went, "Fuck!
Yeah.
People can't hold their breath for a minute and a half. That's not possible.
Oh, I've got to do something. I got to do something different."
Okay, I know.
Yeah,
The
God.
ceiling will just fall off, and then they can get some air.
Christian God. Yeah, and then I fucking loved the part where he goes, "You're a cop, right?"
Well, so I have a couple things before that.
Oh, you do.
One thing I have is, so if you're a shady pharmaceutical company and you want to do these advanced tests to see what works and not, I understand picking random people and, taking their passports and doing all that. Why would you choose a famous rapper?
Yeah.
People are going to notice that he's disappeared.
Mid-sized sedan.
Yeah.
Imagine if Drake just disappeared.
Drake goes to luxury island vacation.
That would be
Never seen again.
like
What could have happened? Yeah, don't worry, boss. We wiped his home computer.
okay.
Yeah.
What about all the street cameras or TSA or the airport stuff? Any of that? No, we forgot about that.
No. Well, they explained that they fly them out on their own planes. They do everything.
They still have to leave
That's
through an
their-
airport.
Yeah. 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 Listen, you're thinking about it too much.
It's like, don't choose
Yeah,
a famous
that's a good
person.
point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
We have to stop thinking about this movie.
The theme of the
true.
movie is don't think about it.
Don't think about it.
I have
Make
one
it
more.
all in this beach.
I have one more that I thought about too much was, how does this cop have jurisdiction over this island? Because
He gets the army there.
the kids go and they find this cop at the
2
resort.
days.
International super spy.
Well, that's what I was like.
Yeah.
Why would this cop have any power in this situation?
Yeah, and then he makes a call, presumably to a U.S. domestic police station,
Yeah.
and he goes, "You're not gonna believe this, Gary. These addresses, they're all missing people. Get the boys to the Dominican Republic."
And then a helicopter circa 1970
Yeah, that was
from
in Vietnam.
from Vietnam flies up with people in military uniform.
vaguely the military.
It's like, who's this
uniforms.
cop?
Yeah.
What power does this cop have?
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't worry, I've got it. I've got your aunt here." Why?
Yeah, I like that scene too because the kid was, what did he say?
The man.
Yeah,
if
the
you will.
man. He's a man now. He's
Yeah.
50 years old. And he goes, I think the cop goes, "How's your aunt gonna take this?" And he goes, "Well, how would you feel if your 6-year-old nephew called you and if a 50-year-old man called
he
you
just
and said, 'I'm your
guilt-tripped him.
6-year-old,
He
it's your
just
6-year-old
shamed
nephew."
him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, if I got that call, if I had a 6-year-old nephew and a 50-year-old man called me and said, "Hey, I'm your 6-year-old nephew," I'd be like, "What did you do with
I'm
my
calling
nephew?
the police. Yeah.
Did you kill him? What's wrong with you?"
I would hang
wouldn't
up immediately. I just, I don't have time for these prank calls.
I wouldn't believe him.
These fucking cold calls. Get out of here.
Insane.
You have the wrong number.
It's
Just
insane.
hang up.
Doesn't make any sense. This movie doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, this movie doesn't make any sense. I think if you go into this movie, I'm so far away from my mic. I'm so sorry. If you go into this movie and you're like, I'm gonna watch a movie and I'm not gonna think about it that much, and I'm just gonna enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. Pretty cool. Stuff happens.
Yeah.
Stuff happens in order, and some of that stuff is pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's like
Yeah.
movie. It's like all the ingredients from movie soup.
Yeah. But I get why you like it, Riley.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad that you like this movie.
No, I mean,
I can see why people like this movie.
because we
You're just
tend
being
to
really quiet.
I don't really have much to say about it. I'm one of those people where I feel like I can understand where which parts aren't important and which parts you need to focus on. And I'm choosing to focus on the parts that were intended to focus on and not getting caught up on the stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think most people probably don't watch movies like, at least I watch a movie, which is I'm looking at really nitty gritty specific details and how it's shot. And I think most people watch a movie and they're like, was I entertained or was I not entertained? And that's the main criteria.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I just didn't buy into the shtick.
Yeah. And I think, and like I said, the first time I watched this movie, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more. And I think a lot of that reason was, again, just not knowing what I was getting into, just kind of blindly watching it. But also, I didn't think about it at all. I just kind of took it in. So I wasn't really thinking about how illogical some of the plot devices were.
This is definitely a movie that if you can turn your brain off, it's way more enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
Just to turn your brain off.
Because you get a giggle when somebody says, "My name is Midsize Sedan."
Yeah.
You're like, that's pretty funny.
That's a funny
Yeah,
name.
when
feel like
I
there's some
first
good
heard that, I
jokes
thought
in
it was
this
funny.
movie.
I agree.
You get to see a woman have bonitis.
Which was, I think, funnier than it
scary.
should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I couldn't have, why do I feel like I can't speak English?
I don't know.
Why
Try Spanish.
I couldn't?
Yeah.
If I
Donde
could not
está
have
la biblioteca?
told
There you go.
that it was. Oh my god!
Your English
What
is
you're
getting
looking
really
for
good.
is if I couldn't tell.
If I couldn't tell that, thank
Nice,
you.
you're
Oh my gosh, I need to go to bed.
It's okay.
I apologize.
Yeah,
guys.
this is a rough one. It's a rough
that
episode.
it was like all CGI. I think it would have been scary.
You wanted to see a real
scarier.
woman's bones. Why was she
don't-
trying
Yeah.
to kill them?
She
was ugly
wasn't.
now.
She was fucking hysterical and
Yeah.
about him
Look
taking
how-
pictures of her because she's
He
all.
wasn't taking pictures of her.
He was
Nobody has a phone.
Oh no, he was lighting a match to see. She was like, I don't want to be seen.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you.
She looks
And
like
then,
a
like,
witch.
going
When
She
she
was
was
all
She did.
crumpled up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she had a fun character transition.
Because she had a
Yeah.
hunchback.
Yeah.
After she told her daughter to sit
Yeah,
up straight because
uh-huh.
you don't want a hunchback.
Yep. You know what
She had
happened
a
to her
calcium
daughter?
deficiency.
Which I don't think that would
Died.
happen to you if you have a calcium deficiency. I don't think you'd crumple up in a ball.
That's what I was
Well,
also thinking
no.
is maybe I don't know.
She had
what a
it makes
calcium
sense.
deficiency is,
It
but-
doesn't make sense, but at the same time, the basis of it makes sense. She had a calcium deficiency, so her bones were really weak and frail. She ends up, dropping one of the boulders on her arms. It makes a
arms
cracking and
breaks,
breaking
yeah.
noise or whatever.
then what happens
then
the rest
she
of the
keeps
time? She just
knocking
goes,
herself around and keeps breaking her body parts, and eventually falls into. This is where it kind of gets far fetched, but it immediately looks like she falls into some sort of horizontal tunnel. It doesn't look like the same area that they were in, and she's rolling around, hitting wall to wall, then making her.
That's how somebody with a calcium deficiency would die.
If it were me,
But
I
it's
would
sped up
simply,
and dramatic.
If it were me, I would simply not
I guess
roll
that's
around
true,
on
like,
the
It's
ground.
sped up and
Yeah.
dramatic.
Right, but then
And
why
break
is
all my
it?
bones.
Why is it?
I would simply just drink a
Why
glass
don't they
of
have
milk.
like 30 seconds
Yeah.
to lose?
Sure.
Why is this disease attacking her?
Gives you strong bones.
But just her in this situation.
Well, calcium deficiency isn't contagious, Jack.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but it's like it's all happening at the same time.
well, it's because time is actually sped up. On the stage.
Oh,
Yeah.
They get old on the
I
beach.
forgot the premise. That's
yeah,
my bad.
Yeah.
Like the one thing.
Yeah.
Oh my
They get old.
god.
Well, what do you think about ranking?
Okay, I'm ready.
Good. The energy is.
Yeah,
We're bringing
It's
it.
there.
bringing
It's
it
there.
today.
Ranking. What are we?
Riley, go first.
Yeah. Where are you putting this on the list? I gotta pull up the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is? Let me run through the list real quick.
You're gonna run through it.
Here, let me unplug my computer.
I've got the master list with everything we've watched so far.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. So
It's-
number
oh, go
one is Inseminoid. That's the worst movie we've seen so far. Then, so it goes worst to best. So Inseminoid, Ouija, Origins of Evil, Ouija, Skinamarink, Haunting of Molly Hartley, Five Nights at Freddy's, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Those are the 7 we've watched so far.
I would put it at above Skinamarink, below The Haunting of Molly Hartley.
Okay.
Ooh. I lied. I might actually bump it to a 6.
To 6.
Okay.
So
I thought that I
Better than Molly Hartley.
Yeah.
Worse than Five Nights at Freddy's.
yeah.
Okay. I was feeling maybe like just looking like basing it off of the movies on the list so far, which is, I guess the point. I feel like between Origins of Evil and Ouija at number 3.
At number 3.
Yeah.
okay.
Based on everything that's
this-
on here, that's where I'd put it.
Okay. Wait, what's number 1? Seminoid?
And
Seminoid, yep.
Really? So you'd say this is better than Ouija Origins of Evil, or worse than Ouija Origins of Evil?
Worse than Ouija.
Better.
It's better than Origins of Evil, worse than Ouija.
Really?
I mean, it might be number 4.
This
This
one's a strong 4 for me.
Yeah, I could see
4.
better than Ouija, worse than Skinamarink.
Yeah, strong 4.
I could see that.
I did enjoy watching it more than Five Nights at Freddy's, though. I think Five Nights at Freddy needs a reshuffle.
No.
I think it
Yeah.
does.
You want to put it at the worst.
I do.
It's
I
too
do want to
bad.
put it at the worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
yes.
with Jack.
We can
Do it.
reshuffle it when we get to 100.
I
Yeah.
thought we were doing it at 10.
No,
No.
100.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we got
Yeah.
a 4, a 4, a
Um.
6, and a
6.
Is that
and
top of the list
I think.
No.
for you? What's number?
No.
How many are on this list?
She
7?
had it.
Seven
There's
so
2
far.
more. There's one more above. We have
She had
8.
it worse than Five Nights at Freddy's,
Yeah. This is the 8th movie.
better than Haunting at Molly
Mhm.
Hartley.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'd like that too. I mean, I'm not opposed to that ranking. Even though I really didn't like
yeah.
this movie, I could see the larger appeal of it.
I think I would go. I'm going number 5, because I would rather watch this again than Skinamarink.
Yeah. If I was gonna show people a movie, I'd show them this movie before Skinamarink. For sure.
I
Okay,
think-
well then I might have to move mine to above Pooh, because I would much rather watch this again than Winnie the Pooh.
So you think this is the
Best
I think
movie.
yeah,
watched
I
so
think
far.
I might. Yes, yes.
okay.
Okay.
I can get on board with 5.
I'm
better than
putting my stake down on 5.
Skinamarink?
Yeah.
And personally, I don't think that it's better than Skinamarink.
But you'd rather show people
I,
this?
I would rather watch Skinamarink again if I was by myself. If I was with people, I don't think I'd make somebody watch Skinamarink.
Okay.
Unless they
That's fair.
expressed interest in it.
I do 5.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Will you agree? Okay, 5.
Sweet.
That was
Lock that
cut.
in. Yeah.
Nice. Old coming in at number 5 on the list.
Number 5 on the list.
Not bad at all.
Okay.
Now,
Now time to
What-
pick the.
what time is it, Riley?
What are we watching next?
Nice.
What are we watching next?
Christopher's turn.
Oh, it's my turn to pick. Oh boy. Let me pull out my handy dandy notebook. You know what? I think I have my movie. I
Well, don't think it.
No, you're right. Don't think it. I know I have my movie. I had a strong pick last time with Winnie the Pooh,
Yep.
notorious British movie. So I think I'm gonna stick with that country's genre of movies, and I will pick Stitches.
Stitches. Okay.
Yes,
What's the one-liner
the one-liner.
or the description?
You'll die laughing.
Oh, okay.
The clumsy and unfunny clown Richard Stitches Grindle entertains at the 10th birthday of Little Tom. But the boy and his friends but they play a prank on Stitches, tying his shoelaces or tying them. Fuck, I can't read. Stitches slips, falls, and dies. 6 years later, Tom gives
long
a
description.
birthday party for his friends at home, but Stitches revives to haunt the teenagers and get revenge.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So
super
excited. When did it come out?
It came out in 2012.
Wow.
Yes.
The prime years for
prime
horror
year
movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're watching next week.
Yeah, it is.
If you want to follow along,
Yeah.
pop
please
that.
do.
Pop that in the
Yeah.
DVD player.
Oh yeah. Go rent it from your local Blockbuster.
I think we should wrap it up. Thanks for listening. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at
Yeah.
Dookie Pod.
That's with an IE.
Yeah.
Now it's with a Y.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's at Dookie Pod with a Y.
Yeah. Subscribe if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
enjoyed some of the show or none of the show.
And hey, if you enjoyed, feel free to share it with someone else you think might like it, might want to hear
Send us an email.
hear some people.
Yeah. If we start getting emails, we can
around.
start reading them on the show.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be hilarious.
Yeah.
It's Dookie Spookies podcast at gmail.com. I
Yeah.
think, right?
Yeah. Send us an email. Let us know what you think. Give us some movie recommendations. Give us
that's a
your
good
hot
one.
takes.
Yeah, give us your takes. on
Yeah,
this movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if someone sends in some recommendations, you never know. Maybe we'll start taking guest recommendations instead of choosing it ourselves.
Maybe we'll tell you to shove it.
Yeah.
You don't own this podcast. This is ours.
We run this. You're not on it. Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye. We're gonna do some filler for music. Some filler music.
We're cold closing.
You know what we could do? Instead of going to the plot, we could come with specific scenes